It's time to keep the feast for the children. What are your thoughts? We're about to do it big this year. It's good to see y'all. Feast days. What? Come on, get real. Yeah.
Burn that lamb, unleavened bread, let's play. Bitter words where we stay. Celebrate these days Yah's way. Burn that lamb, unleavened bread, let's play. Bitter words where we stay. Celebrate these days.
Shalom, Israel. This is YHWH ben Yaakov, and you are viewing and listening to True Remnant Ministry. I just want to thank the Most High for allowing me once again to come before you, my brothers and sisters, to share a word of understanding and clarity to you on a particular subject that's being misinterpreted and being misused and mistaught in this particular hour that we're living in. What I want to talk about today is concerning Amos chapter 5 verse 21. Yah hates your feast, okay? And what we want to do is bring some clarity and bring some understanding to this particular verse because it's being misused and misinterpreted out of its rightful context and what Yah is directly and distinctively addressing in this particular chapter. Many people will use this particular verse, among others, to try to say that we shouldn't keep the feast of Yah because Yah hates our feast. Another excuse is that we're in the land of captivity. And another is that we cannot keep the feast outside of Jerusalem. I want to address all these three topics in separate videos, video teachings that I'm going to be doing. But at this particular time, we want to talk about Amos chapter 5, verse 21. Yah hates your feast, okay? Let's begin in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1 and verse 2. Leviticus chapter 23 is the outline in which Yah gave of the feast, Passover, unleavened bread, Pentecost, Feast of Trumpets, Day of Atonement, and Feast of Tabernacles, okay? So I just want to prove to you all that these feasts that Yah has commanded us to participate in Leviticus chapter 23, who is the owner? Who's the one that has authorized these feasts? Now we know that Israel is commanded to keep the feast, okay, we know that. But these feasts do not belong to Israel. Israel, the nation, our forefathers, didn't just sit down in some council and come up with these dates, come up with these concepts, okay? This is something that that came from Yah, that Yah spoke unto Moses, and Moses delivered that unto the children of Israel, our ancestors, okay? Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1, and it says, And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, say unto them concerning the feast of Yah. The feast of Yah. That word of is a conjunction that indicates something connected to or belonging to, right? So when Yah uses this word of, he is saying, this is of me. This is belonging to me. This is connected to me, all right? Let's continue on. He says, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are whose feasts? Your feasts? No. Yah says, even these are my feasts. And why? My feasts. There again, Yah makes it quite clear and distinctive who these feasts belong to, who the author of these feasts are. So Yah says, these are my feasts. Not your feasts, but these are my feasts. These are the feasts of Yah. So the word my indicates something belonging to or associated with the speaker. So in this incident here in Amos chapter 5 verse 2, Yah is the one doing the speaking. Yah is speaking unto Moses, telling him, these are the feasts of Yah, and these are my feasts. All right, so that word my indicates something belonging to whoever is speaking or whoever is addressing the situation. Okay, I want you to understand that. It's very important for you to understand. From that, we want to go to Amos chapter 5, verse 21. Let's go to Amos chapter 5, verse 21. Please turn there with me. And it reads, I hate, I despise your feast, and I would not smell in your solemn assembly. Whoa, hold on. That's a drastic difference between Yah saying, these are my feasts, or these are the feasts of Yah. Here in Amos chapter 21, Yah said, I hate your feasts, and I will not smell in your solemn assembly. So here, there is a distinct difference between my and your. And Yah is very distinctive. Yah doesn't speak with deception. He doesn't speak with lies. He is very distinctive, and he is clear and precise in what he is addressing and what he is saying. So in Amos chapter 5, verse 21, these feasts that Yah saying that he hates are not the feast of Yah. It's not Passover and unleavened bread. It's not Pentecost. It is not Feast of Trumpets. It is not the Day of Atonement. Neither is it the Feast of Ingathering or Tabernacles. The feasts that he's addressing here in Amos chapter 21 are not the same feast that Yah was giving unto Moshe to speak unto the children of Israel in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1 and verse 2. And the difference is that the feast that is addressed in Leviticus chapter 23, those are Yah feasts. Here in Amos chapter 5, verse 21, Yah saying these are your feasts. I hate your feasts. He didn't say I hate my feast. He said I hate your feast. And we're going to see exactly what Yah is saying. Okay. Now, there's one thing that I want you to understand here. The book of Amos. What was the time period that Amos was prophesying? What is that time period? So one of the things that we have to understand, my brothers and sisters, concerning the book of Amos in Amos chapter 5, verse 21, is why did Yah say this concerning Israel? Why did he say that he hated their feast in the first place? And in order for us to understand that, we have to understand the dispensation and the time frame in which the prophet Amos was prophesying in, okay? The prophet Amos was prophesying to the northern tribes, all right? The northern tribes, which was known as Israel, the 10 tribes that followed Jeroboam, son of Nebat, after they revolted against the house of David, the tribe of Judah, okay? So because of Solomon's sin, King Solomon's sin, Yah told Solomon that he was going to divide the kingdom, but that he would do it in the reign of Solomon's son, which was Rehoboam. So at that time, you had two kings. Rehoboam was the king of Judah and Benjamin, and Jeroboam was an Ephraimite of the house of Joseph, and he was made king over the northern tribes, which was known as Israel, the 10 tribes that separated from the house of David, okay? So in the history of the northern kingdom, okay, there were two kings who both had the same name, but they lived in different time periods, okay? The first king of the northern kingdom, known as Israel, name was Jeroboam. He was the son of Nebat. Many years later, after Jeroboam's son of Nebat died, okay, there rose to power another king who had the same name, Jeroboam, but that king was the son of Joash, okay? So I want to clarify this because we need to understand what kings were in power during the time of the prophet Amos. Let's go to Amos chapter 1, and we want to read verse 1. And it reads, the word of Amos, who was among the herdsmen of Tekiah, which he saw concerning Israel in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. And in the days of, this is very important, in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, 2 years before the earthquake. So Amos was prophesying in a time where Uzziah was king of Judah, and Jeroboam, the son of Joash, was king of Israel, okay? So when we go to 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 31, the Jeroboam that's mentioned there is not the same Jeroboam mentioned here in Amos chapter 1, verse 1, okay? It's a different Jeroboam. The Jeroboam in 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 32 that we're going to read here in a little while, this Jeroboam was the son of Naboth, okay? During the time that Amos was prophesying, the king of Israel, this Jeroboam, during the time of Amos, was the son of Joash, okay? But there is a connection between the two Jeroboams, okay? There's a connection between Jeroboam's son of Nebat, and there is a connection between Jeroboam's son of Joash, okay? And this is why Amos was prophesying against the sin and the idolatry of Israel, and that's why Yah spoke through Amos, telling Israel that he hates your feast, or he hated their feast, okay? There's a reason why he said that, even though these are 2 different times, okay? Now remember that I stated that we're going to be reading from 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 32. This Jeroboam was the first king that was made king over the northern tribes after Solomon had died, and Solomon's son Rehoboam came to power, and the other 10 tribes revolted against the house of David, and the kingdom was divided into 2 kingdoms, okay? All right. Now, let's go, before we go there, we want to go to Amos chapter 5, verse 5, because I want to read this about Bethel as well, okay? So we're going to read that, and then we're going to go to 1 Kings chapter 12, and we're going to begin reading at the 25th verse about Jeroboam, son of
Okay, this is very important before we move on to 1 Kings chapter 12.
Amos chapter 5, verse 5 says, "But seek not Bethel, nor enter into Gilgal, and pass not through Beersheba, for Gilgal shall surely go into captivity, and Bethel shall come to naught." That's a reason why Amos is prophesying about Bethel. All right? I want you to remember that. He said, seek not Bethel, for Bethel shall come to naught. Bethel, Beersheba, Gilgal, all of these towns or cities that Amos is addressing in Amos chapter 5, verse 5, these are cities that were found in the northern kingdom. From that point, 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 25, and it reads, "Then Jeroboam built Shechem in the Mount Ephraim." We got to understand that Jeroboam was an Ephraimite, so he was of the tribe of Joseph, okay? In Mount Ephraim, and dwelt therein, and went out from this and built Penuel. And Jeroboam said in his heart, now the kingdom shall return to the house of David. If this people go up to do sacrifice in the house of Yah at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn unto their master, even unto Rehoboam, king of Judah. So Rehoboam was the king of Judah. Jeroboam was the king of Israel, which was known as the 10 tribes. The 10 tribes known as the northern kingdom, all right? Judah was the southern kingdom. "And they shall kill me and go again to Rehoboam, king of Judah." Now look at what Jeroboam does in verse 28. "Whereupon the king took counsel, and he made 2 golden calves." He made calves of gold, and said unto them, "It is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee out of the land of Mizraim," or Egypt. So Jeroboam goes back in history and reenact something that was done when the children of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt. What was the first thing that they did? When Moshe went to the mount to seek counsel from Yah, Moshe left Aharon in charge. Next thing you know, they're building these golden calves and they're worshiping it, they're dancing and they're feasting and everything and giving credit to the calves instead of giving credit to the Most High. That's the same thing that Jeroboam did. Okay? Now let's look on. Verse 29 says, he set the one in Bethel. Remember Amos chapter 5 verse 5 says, seek not Bethel, that Bethel was going to come to naught. This is why, because Amos was addressing this particular issue that was going on in the northern kingdom. He says he set one in Bethel, and the other he put in Dan. Verse 30. And this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan. So this became a great sin in the northern kingdom to the other 10 tribes. Because they begin to worship the one in Bethel, even the one that Jeroboam set in the land of Dan. Look at verse 31. And he made a house of the high places and made priests of the lowest of the people. So he began to build high places, groves, or whatever you want to say. Not only that, he began to make priests of the lowest estate of people. People that were unqualified to be priests. People that were unqualified to minister unto the nation of Israel. Look what he says. He made priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi. So he excluded the tribe of Levi, in which the priesthood came through. They were ordained to be priests unto Israel at this particular time. But Jeroboam took the lowest of the people and made them priests instead of making priests of the sons of Levi, in which the Torah had commanded to be done. That the sons of Levi should be priests. Look at verse 32. Now this is the thing here that's going to bring understanding and clarity to Amos chapter 5 verse 21. We're going to see why God says, I hate your feasts. Right? Because they were not keeping Yah's feasts. They were keeping their own feasts. Some of y'all doing that today. And I'm not talking about because we might have differences on calculation as far as the Passover being on one date and on another date. That's not the case. Okay? They were keeping something totally different than what Yah had commanded to be kept in Leviticus chapter 23. Let's continue on. And Jeroboam ordained a feast. Jeroboam, he ordained a feast. This wasn't the doing of Yah. Remember, Leviticus chapter 23 verse 1 says, and Yah spake unto Moshe. Alright? That's what it says. Here, Yah didn't speak unto Jeroboam. This was something that Jeroboam ordained. And on top of that, he ordained a feast in the 8th month of the 14th day of the month, like unto the feasts that were in Judah. Now you see where we're going with this? The feast that Amos was addressing, what Yah was addressing in the book of Amos. The book of Amos is a book that was written to the northern tribes. This is what the northern tribes were doing. Instead of keeping the feast of Yah, which we know that tabernacles, Yah says that you should keep tabernacles, the feast of Ingathering of Sukkot, on the 15th day of the 7th month. Tabernacles was to be observed. Alright? So look at what Jeroboam does. He set up 2 pagan calves causing the children of Israel, the northern tribe, the northern kingdoms, to commit idolatry against Yah, which is against his commandment. You shall have no other God before me. You shall not bow down to the likeness of any other thing. And you shall not make unto yourself any graven images. Jeroboam broke that, and he caused Israel to sin. He even went a step further than that. He ordained a feast to be kept on the 8th month of the 15th day of the month, like to the feasts that were in Judah. So they wasn't even keeping the feast of Yah in the first place. The feast that Yah is talking about that he hates is this feast here that Jeroboam has set up in the first place. It had nothing to do with them being in the land of captivity. It had nothing to do with them not going to Jerusalem to keep the feast. It had nothing to do with that. They went about establishing their own righteousness aside from what Yah said to do. The whole reason why Yah said, I hate your feast, because it wasn't Yah's feast in the first place. As I stated previously, we see clearly here in 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 32, that Jeroboam, son of Naboth, he ordained a feast unto Israel. He ordained a feast in the 8th month of the 15th day of the month. Okay, that was outside of what Yah has said. That's why in Amos chapter 5 verse 21, that's what Yah was addressing. He was addressing that feast because it wasn't the feast of Yah, but it was their feast. It was your feast. It was a feast that was ordained by King Jeroboam, son of Naboth. That's very important to understand. Okay, now I want to confirm that the Jeroboam mentioned here in 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 32, that this Jeroboam is the son of Naboth, all right? And then we're going to connect the king that was ruling Israel during the time of Amos, which was Jeroboam, son of Joash, to the first king of Israel, Jeroboam, son of Naboth. We're going to connect the two together, and you're going to see why Amos was dealing with the same situation that is mentioned here in 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 32. Hallelujah. So let's go to 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 26 says, and Jeroboam, son of Naboth, a Ephraimite. Okay, and I just want to stop right there because for the sake of time, but we can see here that Jeroboam is, this Jeroboam here mentioned in 1 Kings chapter 12 verse 32 is the son of Naboth. Okay, he's the son of Naboth. Now let's go to 2 Kings chapter 14. 2 Kings chapter 14. And I want to begin reading at verse 23. Okay, now we're going to deal with the Jeroboam of Amos' time, Jeroboam son of Joash, okay? And what connects the Jeroboam son of Naboth and the Jeroboam son of Joash? What is the connection between the two, okay? Let's read here in 2 Kings chapter 14, verse 23 through verse 24, and it says, in the 15th year of Amaziah, son of Joash, king of Judah, Jeroboam, son of Joash, king of Israel, began to reign in Samaria. So this Jeroboam, the son of Joash, is the same Jeroboam that is mentioned in the first chapter of Amos, verse 1, in which was the time period that Amos was prophesying in, okay? Verse 24 says, and he did that which was evil. So this Jeroboam, son of Joash, he did that which was evil in the sight of Yah. He departed not from all the sins of Jeroboam, son of Naboth. Okay? So you see what I'm saying? Do you get the understanding of what's going on here? Even though Jeroboam, son of Naboth, was the first to set up 2 pagan calves in the land of Dan and in the land of Bethel, and he also ordained a feast outside of Yah's feast, okay, even though he did this years before the prophet Amos came along, when King Jeroboam, son of Joash, came to power, the scripture says that he did not depart from the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat. That means that he continued the same idolatrous practice. He continued the same feasts that were in opposition to the feast that Yah had commanded us to keep in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1 and verse 2. So that's why Amos, he was still dealing with the same concept, the same things, the same practices that Jeroboam, son of Nebat, set up in 1 Kings chapter 12.
So we can
32.
see clearly that Jeroboam, he ordained this feast to be kept in the 8th month on the 15th day of that month. Something that Yah had not commanded for Israel to do. Not only that, this feast day was associated with idolatry, with the worship of false gods, of false deities that Jeroboam had set up in Bethel and in Dan. Let's continue reading. I'm going to read verse 32 back over. Let's start from the top of verse 32 of 1 Kings chapter 12. It says, and Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 8th month of the 15th day of the month, like unto the feast in Judah. He offered upon the altar. So did he in Bethel sacrifice unto the calves that he had made, and placed in Bethel the priests of the high places which he had made. So this was stuff that he had made. This is your doing, not Yah's doing now. This is not what Yah commanded the children of Israel to be observing. He did not command for them to observe a feast day in the 8th month of the 15th day of the month. That was something that was devised and ordained by Jeroboam because he was wicked. He had wicked intentions, and he caused the children of Israel to go into an apostate state, idolatry, worshiping false images. And not only that, he set up his own feast days in association with that idol worship. And that's why God says in Amos chapter 5 verse 21, because Amos was prophesying against the sin of Israel during this time. Matter of fact, he was probably one of the men, one of the prophets that they despised in the gates. He was probably one of those men that they abhorred who spoke uprightly. Amos was a prophet to the northern tribe. That's why we got to put things in proper context. You can't go to the book of Jubilee and quote from there and then run all the way into Amos chapter 21 and try to say that these two scriptures are connected. No, they're not. That's the problem with Israel today. We're so caught up in popularity of people that we miss the context or the content of what someone is saying. God's not concerned about your status quo. He's not concerned about how fluent you speak Hebrew. He's not concerned because you done made a couple of documentaries. That don't mean nothing before Yah. That don't mean that you're rightly dividing the word of truth, my brothers and sisters. We got to rightly divide the word, and the way you rightly divide the word, you have to stick to the context. When you take scripture out of context, you misinterpret it, and you create a false doctrine. Amos chapter 5, verse 21, Yah saying, I hate your feast day, had nothing to do with them keeping the feast days outside of Jerusalem. It had nothing to do with them keeping the feast days in the land of captivity. You know what? I chuckle when people talk about the land of captivity because I hate to sound so sarcastic. I really do, my brothers and sisters. That's not my heart. It really not. But we as a people, we are so narrow-minded. We do not dig into the depths of things to understand how they begin and how they end, or how they end or how they begin. Don't you know that Yahshua, the Messiah, was born into captivity? He was a captive himself. you know that during the time whereby the four major kingdoms came to power, which was Babylon, Medes and Persian, the Grecian kingdom, and the Roman kingdom, ever since that time, the land of Israel has been a land of captivity. Israelites during the time of Yeshua were captives in their own land. Well, if you are a Hebrew Israelite, I don't care wherever you go on the face of this planet, wherever you dwell, it's going to be a land of captivity. Why? Because you are subservient to a government, to a kingdom that is not of Israelite origin. You can move from America to the land they call Israel today. You're going from one land of captivity to the other, to another. Israel is a land of captivity. And the scripture proved that, and I'm going to deal with that in my next teaching. I'm going to show you that Israelites, during the time, even when Judah returned back to the land, when Judah returned back to the land during the Babylonian exile, and after the Babylonian kingdom fell, they were still subservient to the Medes and the Persian kingdom. Even when Nebuchadnezzar came and took captives from Israel back to Babylon, there were still Israelites dwelling in the land of Israel at that time. And they were servants, they were in bondage, they were captives to King Nebuchadnezzar because he ruled the land. So if you say, oh, we can't keep the feast day because we're in the land of captivity, then you can't keep the Torah. You might well just be a Christian. You might as well. If that's what you say. Let's get back to the subject. So here we see that Jeroboam ordained his own feast. That's why y'all said in Amos chapter 5 verse 21, that is your feast. I hate your feast. I hate your solemn assemblies. Because it had nothing to do with Yah. They ordained their own feast. They left from doing the feast of Yah and they did their own feast. So they did their own thing. Leviticus chapter 23. Let's go back there again. Let's deal with that right quick. And then we're going to, I'm going to ahead and close this teaching on out with something else that I want to read from Amos. Leviticus chapter 23. Hallelujah. Let's begin at verse 1. And it reads, And Yah spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel. So this was something that Moshe ordained. Moshe didn't ordain this feast. This is something that Yah spoke unto Moshe, and Moshe spoke unto Israel. Speak unto the children of Israel concerning the feast of Yah, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocation. Even these are my feasts. Verse 3. He starts with the first feast. This is feast day number 1. Look what he says. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest, a holy convocation, an assembly, a called out meeting, a reading of the Torah. You shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of Yah. In some of your dwellings, in all your dwellings, no matter where you go, from one extremity of the earth to the other, wherever your dwelling is, wherever you pitch in your tent, you shall keep it in all your dwellings. He also says that about these feasts here, that's another teaching for another time, all right? I just want to show you that the Sabbath day is a feast. So those of you, you're very hypocritical. And I have to say it this way, I have to address it this way, and I'm saying it in love, I'm saying it in respect, but that is so hypocritical to sit here and say we cannot keep Passover, we cannot keep this day, we can't keep that day, because we're in the land of our captivity. Then you might as well throw this whole book away. Because Yeshua said, think not that I come to destroy the law and the prophets, I come to fulfill them. He said that heaven and earth will pass away before one jot or tittle of the law pass. he also goes on to say, he said, if any man shall teach another man or another person to break the least of these commandments, he should be called least in the kingdom of Yah. So if we are here teaching people, you can't keep Passover, you can't keep tabernacles, because you're in the land of your captivity, you're outside of Jerusalem, then we can't keep the law. We can't keep the law at all then. Because if you offend in one part, you're offending all parts of it. So you might well just be a Christian. But the other ironic thing is that the same people who teach this stuff, who say that you can't keep the feast, all right, that Yah hates your feast, they'll tell you not to keep the feast of Yah, but then they'll go throw an event that resemble or that is like the feast of Yah. But yet they do it on their own day. They do it when they want to do it. But yet they down Yah's feast. How you going to down Yah's feast and say you can't keep that, but you're going to throw you a feast, you're going to throw your event, you're going to throw your gathering, and then you're going to bid people to come to that, but when it comes to the set-apart times of Yah, yo, you can't keep that. You see how hypocritical that is, my brothers and sisters? It is a wickedness. I speak by the prophetic utterance of Yah. It is a wickedness. Y'all better wake up and stop being hoodwinked. I'm telling you that right now, my brothers and sisters. The scripture says that the simple, they believe everything. You believe everything you hear because you call up in the image of what somebody has accomplished. That don't mean nothing before Yah. Messiah said in that day that shall come to me and say, I cast out devils in your name, I heal the sick in your name. He will look at them and say, look, depart from me, get the hell out of my face. I don't know you. That's what Messiah gonna say. I don't know you, man. Depart from me, you that work iniquity. You teach anybody to break the least of one of these commandments, you're gonna be called least in the kingdom of Yah. Today, there's very few men who truly rightly divide the word of truth. I don't want to be one of those teachers or one of those preachers, okay, that do that. Some of y'all been wondering, I've been having people ask me, Brother Pat, when you going to make another video? Brother Pat, when you going to make another teaching? And I had to take a break from that, my brothers and sisters, and I say this because I wanted to make sure that I was bringing teachings that were inspired by Yah, not just bringing something because, oh man, I got to get up in the morning, I got to get up on Shabbat day and make sure I have a message ready because I got people that's going to be listening to me, you know. I'm not concerned about numbers, man. I'm not concerned about that. I'm not concerned about how many people follow me. You show me how many of the prophets were famous people. Show me how many prophets had a whole bunch of people following them. Not very many people. Even Messiah, he had multitudes following him, but he turned around and said, look, unless you hate your father and your mother, your sister and your brother, you can't be my disciple. And many people left him because of that. Amos chapter 5 verse 21 has nothing to do with the verse in the book of Jubilee that basically states that people will err concerning the feast day because of the observance of the moon. I got another teaching on that. Because see, that particular verse does not line up with what's in Torah. It doesn't line up to what's in the Psalms. Because David said that God appointed the moon for Moed, or for Moedim, for the feast. That's what David said. Yah stated in Exodus chapter 12, he said, this month shall be the beginning of months to you. Which means new moons. This new moon, basically. I got a teaching on that as well, my brothers and sisters. So these are things that we're going to address. These are things that we're going to talk about, okay? Let's go ahead and end this this topic, I want to show you why Yah says also that he hates your feast, okay? If we go to the book of Amos, let's go to the book of Amos, which I'm already there. Amos chapter 5. Let's start at verse 24, okay? He said, but let judgment run down as water and righteousness as a mighty stream. He says, have you offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel, but you have borne the tabernacle of Mokam and Kion, your images, the star of your God, which you made to yourselves. So in Amos chapter 5, they were worshiping Moloch. They were worshiping Kion. And not only that, they devised this star, that wicked thing they call the Star of David, that some of y'all got plastered on your media assemblies and on your attire. That wicked mess. So they wasn't even sacrificing unto Yah. They were sacrificing to Moloch. That's who they were sacrificing to, my brothers and sisters. So we see, once again, reviewing 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 32, clearly states what Jeroboam did. He set up those calves in Bethel. That's why Yah states in Amos chapter 5, verse 5, that's why he says, but seek not Bethel, nor enter into Gilgal, nor pass through Beersheba, for Gilgal shall surely go into captivity, and Bethel shall come to naught. I'm going to go back to 1 Kings again. And I know we're jumping around, but I want you to bear with me. 1 Kings chapter 12. I want to go back to verse 32. It says, and Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 18th month of the 15th day of the month, like unto the feasts that were in Judah. And he offered upon the altar. So did he in Bethel. He did this in Bethel. Sacrificing unto the calves that he had made, and he placed in Bethel the priests of the high places which he had made. So he offered upon the altar which he had made in Bethel the 15th day of the 8th month, even the month which he had devised of his own heart. So this was a feast that he ordained, that he devised of his own wicked heart. And he sacrificed upon the altar unto those golden calves, and he caused Israel to sin by turning them away from Yah unto idol worship. We can see it clearly that this feast was something that was devised by Jeroboam's own heart. It was devised by his own heart. It had nothing to do with Yah. Once again, I know I keep saying, that's why Amos chapter 5 verse 21, God says, I hate your feast. He was specifically addressing something that was a feast, solemn assembly, that had nothing to do with the feasts and solemn assemblies that he had given us in Leviticus chapter 23. It also says that he ordained a feast unto the children of Israel, and he offered upon the altar burnt offerings. So this was a feast, not only did he devise of his own heart, but he ordained a feast unto the children of Israel. This was something that he mandated and commanded the children of Israel to observe. My brothers and sisters, that's why we have to be very careful. We have to make sure that we rightly divide the word of truth to get understanding. Because it's easily believable for someone to take that verse in Amos chapter 21 and then convince you that you shouldn't be keeping the feast because Yah hate your feast. Yeah, Yah hates your feast. He hates your feast. He hates your feast when you're telling other people that you can't keep Yah's feast, but you can come and keep my feast. You can come keep my event. But yet you can't keep Yah's feast, but you come to my event, the event that I'm hosting, the event that I'm doing. You putting down Yah's feast, telling people there's no way possible they can keep that, but oh, it's possible for you to come keep what I'm throwing or what I'm doing. And you know what? And I'm not saying that it's wrong for us to have different events between the feast time and feast gatherings and stuff like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's very hypocritical and it's dangerous when you tell people that they can't keep Yah's feast, but they can come and keep your feast. And you say, Brother Pastor, these same people say, well, I'm not throwing a feast. Yes, you are. A feast has nothing to do with eating, drinking, laughing. It has nothing to do with that. A feast in the Hebrew, which is, you have Chag and you have Moedim or Moed, it is an appointed time. It is an assembly. It is a gathering. That's what it is. So whenever you have a gathering, whether it be Yah's feast or whether it be something that you have devised of your own heart, it's a feast. Even though Jeroboam devised this particular gathering, festival, whatever you want to call it, it was still a feast. But it wasn't Yah's feast. It was their feast. In other words, what Yah says in Amos chapter 21, your feast. So we have to understand, my brothers and sisters, that Yah is distinctive. He is very clear in what he's saying. He don't bite his tongue. If he says your feast, he means just that. If he say my feast, he means just that. Man, I just can't get over the concept of people telling other people that they can't keep Yah feast, but you can come over here to my event. That's just like me saying, that's just like me hypothetically saying, I would never tell nobody this and I do not teach this, all right? But just say on the flip side, just using me for an example. That's just like me coming before you telling you, oh, you can't keep Yah's feast, but I'm throwing the feast in August the 31st and I want everybody to come to it. What, you got the nerve. What nerve do you have to do that? And then you go to Amos chapter 5 verse 21 and tell people that Yah basically hates the feast. Yah didn't say he hates his feast. He said he hates your feast. That same feast that you throwing, that same feast, that same gathering that you calling yourself, putting together. And on the other hand, you telling people, swearing upon the Bible that they can't keep the feast, but yet they can come to your feast. That's the feast that Yah hates. That's the feast that Yah despises. You teach people to bring to know Yah's feast, but yet you want them to come to your event. That's the event that Yah hates right there. That's the event that he despises. My people, we got to get together. We're living in some dangerous times. Scripture says that there will be a great fall away. People go fall away from the truth, giving heed to seducing spirits, doctrines of devils, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters. We got to be ever so careful, man. I'm just saying. I love you all with the love of Yah. May Yah Barak you, may He keep you. This is Rod Pathwell Ben Yaakov. You listen to True Remnant Ministry. Let me know if this teaching was a great inspiration to your heart. Let me know if you got some understanding, if you have some questions. Leave some comments below. Like, subscribe if you're a first listener to the program. And I got some other teachers I'm going to bring along with this topic. May the Most High bless you. May He keep you. Until next time, we say shalom to you. In the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Shalom.